We should probably get recording. My child's probably freaking out right now.
Yeah. Okay. Action.
Yeah,
Hello,
okay.
everybody. Welcome back to Mom Co Podcast. I got a haircut. Anna did too, but mine's more drastic. And I'm just having a minor mental breakdown, but it's fine. Welcome all. Anna, how are you?
I'm good. I'm tired. My baby was up at
Amen.
4 AM.
Yes, as you can see, we're remote locating. And when we get this podcast done, it's probably most likely in the evenings after we figure out how to put babies to sleep.
Oh, so we're here. We're here. So that's
We
good.
made it.
We
We're
made
here
it.
for you guys. Okay, let's dive in. Anna, what's your mom win of the week?
My mom win of the week. Okay, so today was my mom. Actually, my mom win was like an hour and a half ago.
Which is awesome.
So we put Lily in her crib for the first time because she's been in bassinets. Then it's been pack and play or, mom or dad's arms. That's what the sleep situations have been. And pack and play is great. Pack and play in our bedroom, pack and play in the living room. But she fell asleep in Casey's arms after a bottle. And I was like, let's try her crib just for funsies. Put her in her crib, put her in her sleep sack, turn on her nightlight, put a little sound machine on, which is like a first time thing for her, and like a little color change nightlight. My kid was just, like, passed out,
Ow.
happy as a clam, and I'm like and it was, like, an hour later, and she was still passed out, happy as a clam. Now, the fact that my husband hasn't texted me back tells me she's up right now, probably causing chaos, but
You can go check on her if you
I don't
want.
want to get sucked into that, so no.
Me all the time. I hear like footsteps. I'm like, it's not me. It's not me. It's your night.
He knows what we're doing, he knows this is important to me and important to us, and it's something he can't handle, so
Yeah.
and we just got a pretty good break too. She's been that 6-week growth spurt, so she's been, like, waking up angry, cluster feeding, only taking, like, very short naps, and so the fact that she slept for that long in her crib by herself, in a room by herself, huge mom win. Huge win for everybody.
That's awesome.
I think she's just gonna be wildly independent and be like, "I like my space, and I'm gonna do great things and be ahead of the curve and be independent." So
Independent and sassy.
yep,
That's our gonna be your MO.
and brilliant because her dad's absolutely fucking brilliant, and so I think she's gonna be brilliant like him.
And scrappy like her mom.
I like that. I like that. So, what
Could
was
be
your
a
mom
good
win?
combo.
Yeah, no.
My mom win is actually nailing a presentation at work. And I know that sounds crazy, but at my work, I am the social media administrator. That's the best like term, but it's basically a social media manager in the marketing department. And coming back from maternity leave can be hard. But also
Yeah.
I came back to half new senior leadership. So
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get to develop these relationships with these new people as well as my other team members. So I'm
Mhm.
kind of going in blind and trying to feel out like their personalities, what they're wanting on their like agendas and missions and things like that. So I nailed my annual presentation for like social media strategy and everybody loved it.
Congratulations.
And thank you. I felt very validated in my job. I was like, cool, I just earned job security for a year. Not that my job's on the line, but that's just kind of how it felt. So I
Yeah,
felt proud not only nailing a presentation, but navigating like the first week back as like both
full
David and I
time.
going full time. Yeah, as we talked about for the last episode. So it just felt like so validating. I'm like, yes, I was meant to go back to work and
Yay!
I got this. So I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
yay,
so
I got
great.
bearings. So that
I
was
love it.
my mommy win.
I love it. Well, and that's cool too that you're able to, like, have the balance, but still have the, like and we'll talk about this more in different episodes, but, like, the, identity of, like, "Oh, I can do the career thing. I can be great at my
Yeah.
job, and I can be great as a mom." That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like yeah, we'll talk about that more because that is a hard line to like navigate. And it's very nice to like when other
Navigate.
people like, yeah, it's very nice when like your coworkers even are like, wow, you did such a good job. I'm like, Oh, oh, so I was very excited. And what was your daddy delight this
My
week?
daddy's delight, I can't remember. I wrote it down.
Story of my life.
Let's see. Oh, my dad delight has been something that's been happening since we brought the baby. They brought baby home. You know, they always say you get these people that are like, "Oh yeah, well, I wasn't even able to take a shower when, for 3 days after I had every single day that I've been home with, since we've been home with baby, I have been able to take a shower every day and have just like that half
That's
an hour
awesome.
of taking a shower and getting ready because her daddy is so amazing, and he's just like, "Go take a shower." Now, we'll see what happens when he goes back to work, but even then, he works remotely, he's home, which is fabulous, and so I'm kinda hoping
Mhm.
and he said this too, he's like, "If I'm between meetings, I'm gonna come up and get her, and you're gonna go take a shower, that's just how it's gonna be." So, taking a shower every
Oh,
day because he steps up and is super dad.
and that's one of the things I feel like that's one of those rituals as, like, just a woman or just, like, a person just kinda resets your mood and everything like that, like, even when I'm
100%.
in a bad mood, David's like, "Go take a shower." So, the fact that you're able to do that every day and just kinda set the tone for the day, and it's kind of like a productivity thing too, like, "I'm gonna be productive today, I had a
You
shower,
feel good
everything's gonna
about
be
getting a
great."
shower, yeah. And
Yes,
today
it's
was
just
a
like a
hard day.
reset.
It is, and I woke up she was up at 4:15 this morning. I was so
Done.
exhausted, and he got up, and then I tried to go it was like 10 o'clock, and I was so tired, I'm like, "I'm gonna go back to bed and take a nap," but you know how that goes, you go and you lay down, and then you're just like your mind's racing, you can't, so I laid there for half an hour, and I just, like, was I can't get to sleep, can't get to sleep, so finally, I just got back up and we took care of her together for a while because 'cause we're in that, like, crazy 6-week growth spurt cluster feeding, like I said before. Then finally, I was like, "I have to go take a shower." And it was just like a total reset. I came out of that shower just feeling way better, and the rest of the day went by actually a lot better too. So, absolutely.
Mhm. I am proud of you.
I'm proud of me
And
too.
Casey.
Yeah.
Go you guys.
Well, and it's like I kinda realizing too, a lot of our success with a lot of things, I think, has to do a lot with the the dads, right? The dads that step
Yes.
up and the dads that are really shining to become I mean, it has been like and I tell him this, and I don't think he believes me, I think he thinks I'm just blowing smoke up his ass, and I'm like, "I just want you to know it's been a real joy watching you become a dad." And he was like
You say that! I'm crying.
and he's like, "Oh," like he didn't know what to say. Sometimes I like to just say stuff to him to
He's
catch
just
him
like,
off guard.
"Thank you." You're like, "What can I do to break you right now? Let me
Yeah,
say
we
it."
had gone to Coeur d'Alene, and, we had some struggles because she was just, like, she's in this we're going down the street, walking down the sidewalk, and she's screaming in the stroller. It ended up being fine. We all were fine. We got to go do our thing, whatever. But it was on our way home, and it had just been one of those days, and so I just wanted to tell him something to confirm, like, "Hey, just because she's having a bad day doesn't make you a bad dad." And so I told him that, and then I told him the other thing, and he's just like, "Aw." But it's true.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I've known him for so long too, to see him become a dad has been just like
Yeah, like that high schooler
yeah,
become a dad.
yeah, that 16-year-old boy I met, and now 20 years later, he's this doting dad, right? He just dotes on this little girl, and, oh my god, she's smiling now a lot, and so she, like, will look at him, and she'll be like, "Ha ha." It's like,
It's so funny. It reminds me of, like, we'll run in because David knows everybody, but he'll run into people from high school, and they'll be like, "Dude, you're a dad now?" He's like, "I know, me." Like, I didn't picture it either. And
well,
then
it's
they'll
not
look
like
at
we're
me and they're
young
like,
kids, though.
"Yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
But when you picture, like, that one high school friend, and David was that one high school friend, they're like, "You had a kid and you got married on purpose."
You
Like,
got married
"Whoa."
on purpose, and you've been married for a while, and then you had a kid, like,
Yeah, they
that's the
would
other
not
one
expect that
too,
from him. He
right?
wouldn't expect that from him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the other part of that equation because it's like sometimes, it's like, "Oh, well, we had a kid, then we got married." There's
Oops,
nothing wrong
yeah.
with that, and everybody does everything different, but it's always like I don't know, people still ask that, like,
You
when I was
yeah.
pregnant, I had
Wait, like, you
last baby.
predict. Yeah.
Like, "Oh, how long have you been married?" And I'm like, "8 years, and you're just now having a baby?"
See,
Yeah.
you can't win no matter what, because it's
No.
like, "Oh, you had a baby, like, out of, like, wedlock. Oh, you had a baby, like, right after, like, on your honeymoon or something." You
Yeah,
can't win.
or
There's no
even
winning.
you had a baby only a couple years after you got married. I mean, you tell people, like,
Yeah.
for us, it's, "Oh, you've been married for 8 years and you had a baby. Were you wanting to have kid?" I had somebody actually be like, "Oh, you were married for 8 years and then you had a kid? Did you like, was that on purpose?" And I'm like,
Yes.
"Yeah,
Can you
it's
leave
been a
me the
long
fuck
road for
alone?
6 years. Thank you. Bye." Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, people suck.
Like, not your business. Yeah, you can't win. I think that's just life. You can't win with anybody. You're just gonna be judged.
Yup.
Okay, what's
So,
our topic?
our topic is hospital prep and birth stories.
Nobody told me.
Ooh, nobody told me.
I think starting out when you're pregnant and it's your first time, you have like this mystical concept of the hospital. Like for me, I could not fully picture going to the hospital and giving birth. I don't know about you. I could not picture in my head.
Um,
Personally,
um,
never really been in the hospital. Basically, the Rugrats movie and my sisters being born were my only representations of how you give birth, and those aren't really good representations.
you haven't seen, like, movies where you got the lady, like, screaming?
Yeah, and, like, the baby comes out in 2 seconds, and she's just sweaty, and she's like, "Oh, this is a miracle." Like, that's, like, all I know.
So,
But
first
let me
question,
tell you.
how many hours of labor for you?
So, I was scheduled for an induction. My water broke the night before, and my water broke at, like, 6 or something,
I
and I
remember
had the
that call.
baby. David had to finish planting the arborvitaes while I was like, starting to dilate, and my water was breaking. And then I had the baby at 2:16 AM. So I think I was in labor for, like, 3 hours, like, because I think I went into labor at
No.
midnight, so 2-ish?
Well, okay, so that's
Active pushing or,
that's the
like
thing, because people are always like, "How long were
what's the
you
difference?
in labor?" Right? So, early labor is, like, when you start dilating, and after your, like, water's like, not even after your water's broken, but, like, when you start dilating, I think that they consider that early
So
labor.
water breaking to birth, I think that was what? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 8 hours.
Okay.
So, mine's not normal, I'll tell you that, guys, right now, because yeah, mine's not normal, and I know it's not normal, and I'm very lucky because many nurses came into my office, or not my office, my room, and shook my hand.
Oh
Like,
my
"Good job, mama, that's not normal." And then when I was, like, in labor, they were telling me, "Okay, this could be really long." And I was like, "Cool, I could take a nap." And then they're like, "Come get us when it feels like you have to poop." And I'm like, "Well," laid down for 15 minutes, tried to close my eyes, tapped David and said, "I fucking have to poop." And he's like, "No shit." He's like, "No, no, no,
no,
no."
no,
And
no, that's baby.
I'm like I'm like, "No, I would love to sleep, but my body's telling me no." But again, guys, I'm not normal. I was rewarded that for barfing every day is what I
It's
like to say.
also adrenaline too.
A lot
Yeah,
of
a
adrenaline.
lot of adrenaline. That was the one that I was like, "Shit, that's a lot of adrenaline." Did you have a
Yeah.
moment after you gave birth and you're, like, looking at her and you're just like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yes, because I gave birth to her, and I don't know why, retail me just, like, clicked in, and David's like, "You were great." He's like, "You were just, like, focused," like, because he was, like, trying to love me, be sentimental, and I was like, "Yes, I love you too." I was here for him, but I was like,
Yeah,
"Follow that fucking baby, don't worry about me, we're just getting stitched up down here,
yeah,
you go."
yeah,
Because the adrenaline was still kicking in. I don't think it was till I got into, like, the after delivery room or, like, the mom
recovery.
recovery room,
Yeah,
yeah, that I was just like, "Holy fuck, what did I just do?" Like, probably after the epidural wore off, I was like, "I
yeah.
just made a human," and they laid her right next to me, and
And you look
now
over at it and you're just like,
yeah,
"Uh,
that was in my body.
yeah, 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 that's
So that's
crazy."
crazy. So that was my labor amount. How long were you in labor for?
Before we start on that, I'm gonna go check on my baby really fast because
Go
I
check on your
think he's
baby.
here.
We will be right back. Our babies need us.
Holy shit, she's still sleeping in her crib. Let's knock this out.
Your labor? How long were you in labor? That was my question.
So I don't it's goes back to I don't know how they really measure this, right? Because I started at 4 a.m. on the 17th, like feeling the really, really, really bad contractions. And then we went to the hospital, we got admitted, all of that. But I didn't have her until 2:16 at
The
on the
2:16
18th.
AM class.
Yeah, so it was like 22 hours that I was kind of like in labor for 22 hours. But I don't know if it
Yours
was like
is like the normal amount, though.
well,
That's,
yeah,
like,
so there was
predicted.
that, but then it was like they prepared me once again, like, for pushing. They're like, "You're gonna" the average mom pushes for 3 hours, and I pushed for only an hour and a half, and then she came out. But I didn't
Yep,
get my
I was
epidural till 6:30 at night. So I just, like
don't get me
because
started on the my epidural
I
drama.
didn't wanna get, like I didn't wanna do it too early, and I didn't wanna do it too late because everybody told me, like, if you get it too early, it won't be as effective when you need it, and then, if you get it too late, then it won't be effective, so I'm like so I got it at 6:30 and then had her at 2 AM, so
Dang. That's still really fast because that's the average, I think, what my nurse told me was, like, about 24 hours of labor.
really,
So, yeah.
they never told me anything like that. It was just like,
Yeah,
"Here's
they're
how you're
just
progressing,"
d
and I'm like, "Cool,
cool. Yeah. So, you did great. You did
yeah."
great.
Yeah. I think the thing that was, like one of the things that was most surprising was, like, the pressure, even with the epidural.
Oh my god, yeah, I felt like my vagina was gonna fall out of me,
I just yeah.
which makes sense because the baby's falling
Well,
out of
and
you,
I
but you're just
remember
like,
too, you, like, were saying that David was like, "Oh, I'm here for you," whatever. I couldn't even tell you where Casey was. I was, like, so hyper focused that I couldn't even tell you where Casey was. I was just like
state of shock. You're like, "Yes, it's that thing because it's just like I call it retail space because it's just like,
yeah,
you gotta get it done.
yeah.
You gotta do it. I think that's what you call adrenaline. I guess I call it retail me.
I should have grabbed another Fresco
I know,
one.
I
Oh
was, like,
gosh.
thinking, "Do we
Do you
need
wanna
our
do a
beverages?"
yeah,
Beverage run? Yeah.
beverage run? Beverage
Bye,
run.
people. I almost break a mug.
We will be right back. Our babies need us.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. As you can tell, we changed our outfits, changed our hair, changed our look because it's a different day. Yeah. Again, we're moms, life gets in the way, and we do this in between bedtime routines, dinner, life, work, you name it.
I love it.
So, we left off with our Nobody Told Me topics and we talked all motherhood. So, let's dive into the small business portion of this, half of the mom and mom co. And let's talk about conquering self doubt because that's something I think we still struggle with, even
100%.
being like 6 years into your business, me being like 2 or 3 years into mine. I have self doubt. It never really goes away. So let's talk about how we try to conquer self doubt to this day. Let's start with you, Anna. Like when you were starting out and say you had your first sales and like you're looking around, like how did you say, I can push through? I can do this. I am who I am, and I am Earring Empress.
So, honestly, it goes back to even our last episode, right? Because we were talking about takes a village, and you're getting all this support from so many people. So, one of the biggest things to help conquer my self-doubt, which I don't really feel like it's still conquered though, because it still sneaks up on you. And
Mhm.
that's the thing about it, right? Like, it sneaks up on you, and then all of a sudden, it's that imposter syndrome, and you're like, "Fake it till you make it." That's the only thing I can do. But honestly, my, husband and family and friends, like, supporting and being like, "You could do this," kind of thing, um, that's the biggest thing with self-doubt and how to conquer it. I think that having, like, that village, same as when you're raising your kid, and I think that even the conquering self-doubt and imposter syndrome also goes into the motherhood thing too, where it's like, am I doing the right thing for my kid? Am I doing the right thing for my business? Is this going to be a good thing for her, is this gonna be a good thing for me?
Yeah,
So
and
I
starting
don't
out
even know. How do you
yeah,
conquer?
like, starting out a business is like having a baby almost, because 'cause you're like, "I love
Yeah.
this thing so much, and I believe in myself so much, and I love what, like, I'm making so much, and I hope somebody else does." Like,
Mhm.
your family can say, "Oh my god, that's amazing," and my family and your family both did that, like, your product's amazing, it's awesome, like, my dad will tell me how to price things, and it's, like, way overpriced. I'm like, "Dad, you're just saying that because 'cause you're my dad." But conquering, like, that idea of, like, "Is this good? Is it actually good?" is something you can't know till you're freaking in the middle of it. Because 'cause I've had shows where I will, like, sell so much, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I made it. This is the big dogs, like, everything's up from here." But then the next weekend, I'm at a show and I've had shows where I've made
Yeah. Oh, same.
$0.
Same.
And
Everybody has that day, though.
I will say those shows are the ones where you sit down and think, "What the hell am I doing wrong? Is it me, or is it the circumstances around me?" And I think that's kind of where I battle my personal self with, like, conquering self-doubt, because it does allow you, like, especially when you're sitting in a booth. I remember this vividly. It was summer, and it was the same day as my 10-year reunion, and I was up in Airway Heights, which is not a very populated area, not a very well-known area to go shopping. It's a place to go gambling, and I did an outdoor market that day, and I was just sitting there in, like, 99-degree weather and was thinking, "Oh my god, my product's shit, and
Yeah.
nothing's selling." But
Yeah.
when looking back at it, I'm like, "No, it wasn't my product, it was the place I was at, the type of customers that were there, the other booths that were there." It was more like a farmer's market at the end of the day when I think
Yeah.
about it, and I've learned that's not my market.
Mine neither. It's not for
Yeah,
me. So don't
but
feel bad.
when sitting there, you're like, "What can I do? What can I do to be better?" And honestly, at the end of the day, when I think about conquering self-doubt, it's just getting your name out there, and honestly, I think how conquering self-doubt is like marketing, really, but also people are like, "Well, I don't know how to market myself. I barely know how to make my product in time, and I barely know how to do this," and let me tell you, that's you're not alone. I
No.
honestly don't think even having a marketing background, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing with my small business sometimes.
Jeez. But the thing too is sometimes you got that little voice in the back of your head telling you that. Sometimes you just
Mhm.
have to, like, turn to that voice and go, "Shut the fuck up."
Yes.
And
If I
that
could
is
tell
hard
myself to shut
to
up.
do. That's the hard thing to do. And for me, so this is my full-time job, right?
Mhm.
I used to have regular, normal full-time jobs. So for me, it always creeps in. But the layer that creeps in for me is, why are you wasting your time with this when you could be like making real money and having a real career and a real job? And why don't you just go out and get a real job? Why are you doing this? You're not contributing. And so then it's like this spiral,
Negative
right?
talk.
This
Yeah.
self-negative talk, right?
Mhm.
And I just and nobody's telling me this. Nobody's telling me to go get a
It's
real job.
literally inside your head. Yep.
Right, nobody's saying you're not good enough. Nobody's saying any of this. If anything, everybody's telling me the opposite of it, right? But
Mhm.
there's still that inside voice, and so sometimes you just have to learn to turn to that voice and say, "You know what? Shut the fuck up. No, I'm not playing this game today." And that is part of conquering self-doubt. Sometimes you just have to, like, have a little pep talk with yourself and say, "No, I'm not doing this. Not today,
Mhm.
Satan," right?
Not today, Satan,
Not
not
today,
today.
Satan. But yeah, those slow market days, or you pull up your, your whatever you use. So I use Square dashboard. You look at your
Your
sales,
monthly
and
sales,
you
yeah.
see the numbers, and you're either like, "Oh, fuck
Mhm.
yeah, I'm amazing," or you go, "Oh, fuck," right? You either go,
Mhm.
"Ah, fuck, yeah," or,
Yeah.
"Oh, fuck no." That's
Yeah,
pretty much how that goes.
I recently, like, even this, like, spring, I had self-doubt because I juggling a baby, I'm still trying to do my business, I'm still trying to do my full-time job,
Yeah, I don't know how
and
you do it. And this.
lots of tears, and
Yeah,
my
well,
philosophy is we only cry on Tuesdays, so that helps a lot.
tomorrow's crying day.
Tomorrow no, no,
Tomorrow's
tomorrow's
Monday.
Monday.
Today's
Following day's
Monday.
crying day. Mhm.
Keep thinking
The
today's
worst is
Monday.
when I say we only cry on Tuesdays, and it happens to be a Tuesday, and my boss is like, "Just it's Tuesday." I'm like, "Fuck, I have to go cry at home in the shower." But no, I recently had that self-doubt during our Central Valley High School craft fair, and in our area, that's one of, like, the good ones, and it was
Yeah.
a huge snowstorm, and I'm not asking my sister to, like, sell the world or anything like that, I'm just asking her to be there. I asked her, I'm like, "Oh, how did it go?" She's like, "Well, the snowstorm," she's like, "There's barely anybody there." And I talked to other vendor friends, and I'm like, "Yeah, it was just not a good year." But even when it's not, like, a good year or bad economy, the self-doubt still comes in, and you're like, "Is my
Yeah.
product not good enough? Are people not stopping at my booth because it's too expensive?" Like, you put in all the factors too, like, it's not just like yeah, the spiral is so
The
real.
spiraling, yeah.
So, instantly when that happened, I had to sign up for, like, 5 more craft fairs because I'm like, I have to keep, like, that
You have to keep
momentum
going.
going
And
because
that's the
if I
thing.
don't, then I feel like the doubt gets to me, and I don't know if that's a positive cycle or, like, how a small business should run, but that's how I try to manage the self-doubt is, like, keep getting your name out there and keep going, and sometimes it's just not a win, and sometimes it does work out, but
Yeah.
take those little wins even is what I'm thinking, and use that as fuel to keep going
Momentum. You
because
gotta use it as momentum.
yes, momentum's like, that's, like, Elmo's word of the day here, momentum. Because I've been in those ruts where I'm not good enough, my product is too expensive. Sometimes people's comments at the shows we do too, I'm
Yeah.
like
Sometimes the
even like
public is brutal. I can make that myself. I don't like that, and I can make that myself. I could get that cheaper on Amazon, and I'm like,
yeah,
"Okay,
or somebody's like,
go
"You can
for it."
get that I can get that mug at Target." I'm like, "Go ahead. I don't care."
Then why are you
Uh,
here?
yeah.
Why are you at an artisan market where things are being handcrafted if you just wanna, like, tell me that you're gonna go get it off of Amazon or that I'm not good enough?
Mhm.
Sometimes, thinking about it now, it's like that and maybe this is something that would help conquer the self-doubt is when people are acting like that, taking a step back and going, "Well, that's their own insecurity coming
Mhm.
out and reflecting."
1000%. It's their
1,000%.
insecurity.
Yeah, their insecurity, and it's weird because 'cause I'm thinking about it now, it's weird to think about our customers in that, like, way, but usually those people aren't our customers, they're just people that come
They're
by and
just walking
comments.
by. Mhm.
Yeah, and then you have those wonderful people, though,
Yes.
that lift us up and keep coming back and keep buying, and they keep saying, "Oh my god, this is great. Oh my god, you have what I want. Oh my god, look at this." My favorite's when, like,
Mhm.
somebody picks up a pair of, earrings, and then they'll turn to their friend and be like, "Oh my god, look at this, it's amazing!" And they'll be like, "Ah!" And they'll freak out. I love that. Like,
I love that.
that's like my high, right? That's like my drug right there.
My favorite, and I've gotten it a couple times so far, and it literally, like, I get goosies, I pinch myself every time. They're like, "I came here for you," and I'm like, "What?"
Yes. Yes, I've had people
I
say
know
that
we
too, and
talked
you're
about it
just like,
before, but I still
"Ah."
can't get over it. I'm like,
I
"You came for
know.
me."
I
And
know.
then also when because I have a whole spiel at my booth because I have to explain my product. And when I'm halfway through my spiel and they look up and like, "Oh, I know. I had like 5 of your pieces." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. What do you have?" Like, "Let me
Yeah.
just shut the front door and put my tongue
And
back in
you
my
just
mouth."
explore what I have. Other thing too, I think with conquering, self-doubt, what makes it hard too, is that we're the bosses, so we don't have people guiding us and telling us, "Hey, you're on the right track," or "You're not on the right track, here's how you get on the right track." It's all
That's
up
an
to
I
us.
Yeah, I'm bouncing ideas off my husband at like 10 o'clock at night.
Samesies.
I
Samesies,
I come
right?
upstairs, I'm like, "Okay, so I'm gonna pair a burgundy with a rainbow. What do we think?" And he's like, "That sounds amazing." But then he tries to give feedback, and I'm like, "I didn't want your feedback. I just wanted somebody to hear it.
I just
Bye."
wanted somebody to tell me that my idea was good. That's all I want. Shout out to the husbands again. But yeah, I think that makes it hard when you don't have like because when you're working in a job, you've got like a boss or manager or somebody, or you know what you're doing. You have some kind of like guideline, right? Or some
Yeah,
training or something like that. And this, we went to school. Yeah, we studied business. Yeah, we did all this stuff, but no, none of it applies here. And you don't have somebody saying like, good job. You're doing great. I mean, we have friends and family, but we
Yeah.
don't have, like, a boss being like, "Okay, so next steps, here's what we're gonna do, blah, 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 blah,
No,
blah."
you have to come up with the next steps, and when you think about it too, you're like, "What the fuck do I do sometimes?" Sometimes I have to compartmentalize my life. I'm like, "Mom, employee, and then business owner," and then when I go to the business owner tab of my brain, I'm like, "What the fuck are we doing?" I'm like,
At
"Who
one
dropped the ball on this?" I'm like, "Oh,
That was me.
me."
Yeah, exactly. At one point I had, and this was something that I had a super awesome counselor tell me too, to help kinda organize my brain, is to have like I got legal pads, and one legal pad had a to-do list of personal life, and one legal pad had business on it,
Fire.
and then that way it was, like, compartmentalized, but it was a visual of compartmentalizing, and that helped a lot, and I think
Yeah,
that that also helped to
that's a
conquer a
good
little bit
tool.
of self-doubt too.
Mhm,
We'll throw that in the trials, errors, tools, and tips thing, but, like, just to be able to separate, and I think I love what you said too, and you're kinda saying the same thing, separating the personal and the business, because
mhm.
I'm a big list maker, I gotta have my to-do list, right? Once I separated those things, all of a sudden this seemed really achievable, and then this seemed really achievable, and this even seemed achievable to where my husband could help because it was a clear list of, like, personal stuff, so if there's something around the house that he can see, visualize, and be like, "I can do that to help her." It made it
Yes.
easier.
That's we have a weekly plan board on our fridge, and I
Yeah.
started writing, like, what I need to do, like, "Oh, I have a meeting this day," and it has helped so much for, like, both of us to communicate better,
Mhm.
David and I, of, like, "Hey, like, I was gonna do this and this, but, like, I saw that you were having a meeting, and then you're gonna, like, record this podcast, like, what do you need me to do that day?" I'm like, "If you could make dinner, that'd be awesome." So, I honestly think, like, communicating it, writing it down, making it
Yes.
spoken, like
Visual.
yeah, I also think as, like, a small business owner, you put so much on yourself too. But again, like, rely on that village of, like, "Hey, like, this is what" I sometimes have to sit down and tell Dave, I'm like, "Okay, this is what's going on in my brain. Can I just tell you?" And he's like, "Go ahead." And I'm like, I have to do a verbal brain dump with him. I'm like, "Okay, I need to figure out where the baby goes tomorrow. I need to figure out how to paint 2 sets for a show next week.
Mhm.
Also, you have, like, drill that week. How am I gonna get to that show?" And then we just kinda talk it out and communicate so it doesn't feel like it's all on me because when you're a mom and a business owner and trying to navigate, like, your job.
And trying to have, like, your own identity too. Like, I'm still Anna, even though I'm a business owner and I'm a mom, I'm still Anna, but who is Anna now?
Yeah, so just kind of, like, talking it out, writing it down, I think is the biggest way to kinda navigate and it all ties back to self-doubt too because if you get in your head
Absolutely.
too much you're gonna have doubt, like, "I can't do that," and I think I've talked to my therapist about this, I think that's where, like, my postpartum depression and kind of my seasonal depression lies, like, I got so overwhelmed and felt so alone that I'm
Yeah.
like, "I can't do it. I can't paint. I don't have time to paint because my baby needs me." And talking it out with my husband and navigating it with my therapist, I learned I'm like, "You can do it. You just need, like, help in these categories." Like, he can do the dishes even though it's not your right way, they're still getting
It's still
washed.
getting
So
done.
so that's kind of like just speak it out, write it down, helps conquer that self-doubt of, like, you can't do it. And if you're sitting there and you're like, "I love making this product," like, say you crochet, and I love crocheting and I want to do it, I want people to see my product, but I can't do it. Start writing down the steps today to do it. Like, just fucking do it. You can.
And also start writing down the negative self-doubt. Get it the fuck out of your brain, because if it's still
Mhm.
in there, it's just gonna swirl around.
Write it down or talk it out. Because sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I have this feeling and I feel like I'm gonna feel" and if I talk it out with my husband or my sister or my dad or something, like, if you have that
Just
somebody oh,
come
call
we've
your BFF.
we've talked about this, yeah.
If it's negative, they're gonna be like, "Girl, you're thinking way too hard. Usually it's 99% of my problem." And then they're gonna be like, "Okay, let's talk out a solution." Like, if you feel like you're not able to market for me, it's like, I don't have time to post to social media. I do that as my
Yeah,
job. It's like
same.
my brother-in-law who's a contractor, he's not gonna go work on his house at the end of the day. He's
No.
done, like, working on his house because he has to work on everybody else's house. So that's me with social media. I'm like, I did social media all day. I don't wanna market my shit now too.
No, I get that, and that makes sense. I think the other thing too is that we're both high achieving, high functioning women. And so it's hard for us too to not be performing at the highest level because we're always like
Ugh, it's
high
like, why do
achieving.
it at
And this,
all?
yeah, as an audience, what do you guys do to conquer your self doubt? Or if you're having just like a negative feeling or something like that, even with mommyhood, with work, with if you're a small business owner, how do you conquer your self-doubt? Because everybody has self-doubt. That's something that we can all as human beings
Agree
I
on.
agree on. And what do you do? One thing I think one of the biggest things for me is to get it out, whether if it's verbal or written, because I've
Amen.
learned it just swirls around. So,
Mhm.
and we should say to email us at
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say this is a great way to segue into our monthly beef debrief. So
Mhm.
please, if you have advice on conquering self-doubt, that's amazing. We want to hear from you. So email us at momcopodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to message us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Momco Podcast. And the easiest way to find our email too, we have a little contact tab in our website at momcopodcast.com. You can find us pretty
perfect.
much anywhere, all the
Yeah,
time.
we're everywhere. That's so once again though, marketing and putting everything everywhere, right?
And are we
Uh,
conquering self-doubt?
we are conquering self-doubt by making this podcast. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It's great. This is great. This is awesome.
Thank you for listening to Momco Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. To learn more, visit momcopodcast.com.